Hi, I'm Thomas Armstrong, ex-rugby league player for Saints, Widnes, Leigh and Toronto. I'm now currently a gym owner, business owner, PT Forward Fitness. This is the actual gym itself, the gym hub, but we're also a brand. I wanted to be a clothing brand, sporting brand and a sports nutrition and supplement brand. The gym itself is the hub, and then the other sides of the business are getting developed as we speak. As a professional rugby player, I mean, I suppose I had 10 years worth of a bit of trials and tribulations, ups and downs. I mean, I played obviously at the highest level for Saints, coming through their youth, and then played in some really big games. Was in the squad of the two grand finals at Old Trafford. And obviously playing Super League level for Widnes as well, but unfortunately had quite a few injuries along the way. I also, intermittent with my career, did a full-time engineering degree, which kind of put me on the back foot in terms of playing full-time, so I had to drop down leagues. I went to Sheffield and then went my way back up through to Leigh, and then after Leigh was tipped for playing again for Super League, but due to injury just had to sidestep and end my career really. That was kind of had to call a close on it. So coming out of the game, pretty bitter feeling. I was at Widnes, I got a couple of injuries. I was playing well at the time. At the beginning of the season I was top meter maker, I was top carries, and I was doing really well. There was a lot of good talk about what was going to go on in the future. Obviously Widnes, we weren't doing too well at the time, and then I got an injury and I just never kind of recovered from that. I was then given an opportunity afterwards by Paul Rowley and Toronto at the time to play for them the following year. But again, I was plagued by a bit of a hip injury that I was kind of advised to go in for a hip operation, which was meant to be kind of a routine kind of clear up labral kind of tear, which then ended up in a bit of a disastrous kind of outcome. They said that I shouldn't really play rugby ever again, and I should basically retire or go part ways with the sport. I had a 2-year contract at the time, so I was obviously going to fight a bit nail and tooth to get what I deserved kind of back, and I still felt like that I could have got back into full fitness. But I think by that time, being injured for almost a full season on and off, and being out of obviously selection, and feeling a little bit, you feel a bit lost when you're in the physio room all the time, and then you feel that you're not part of the team. You feel like ostracised a little bit outside, especially. I felt like that towards the very end. I felt like things weren't just going my way. I've got into a bit of a mental struggle with myself personally. Ended up going a bit off the rails, so to speak, and then obviously then I got into a bit of a legal battle with the club, and I felt a little bit like I was let down by the sport in a way towards the end of my career, which was a real shame, because obviously being a fan of the sport and growing up only wanting to play rugby, obviously I had my education at the side as well, but ultimately I wanted to be the best I could be and play at the highest level I could be for as long as possible. But then obviously the way it ended and how in the circumstances that it did end was really hard to take. Obviously it took me a good 6 months, a year of going completely, I'd say mentally, almost mentally insane. I had a lot of help counselling, CBT counselling, a lot of cognitive behavioural therapy to help me through it. I had anxiety, depression, addiction, a lot of things that went on with that. I think the lack of support was apparent, but then there was like gems within rugby league who did help me out. I think it happens with all professional sport. You come out, you've got a regimented system, you've got a timetable where you stick by. You've got, you know what time you're in, you know what time you finish, you know your kind of week that you're planning, and when that all disappears and is taken away from you, your day's your own, and you feel as if like, how do I structure my life now? The decision to kind of set up a business was, I've always been entrepreneurial minded. I've always kind of had things running throughout uni. I had a events company that I started and a clothing company that I started in university. So I always had a kind of entrepreneurial mind, and I always wanted to set up something. The idea of the gym kind of was, it came from my sister was working in London at quite a few boutique gyms, and I obviously have a love for staying fit, active. So from seeing all these boutique gyms within London, I just decided I wanted to build and develop something that was similar to that, and something unique and different to Manchester. There was nothing around Manchester like this, with this kind of atmosphere. I wanted a place that was friendly, where people can come to, they can enjoy the training, they can meet new people, they can develop relationships, and as a byproduct get fit doing so. I planned out what I wanted with the gym, and then I needed some help, and so I reached out to Michael, who was a good friend of mine from Lee, playing at Lee, and we just sat down and just obviously came together, put eyes together, and then this is kind of what came out of it. It's still in the early stages, obviously it's still developing, still growing. We still haven't found out exactly what we want from it, but we've started to move out into community help as well with an anonymity project, which is kind of close to our heart, because obviously we've both gone through difficult times. I'm sure Michael will tell you about his as well, but there's so much scope elsewhere that we want to kind of find our niche, and we do want to just develop and grow and help people get on the right path to either recovery or just a better lifestyle, better way of living, get people healthy and get people fit.
Hi, I'm Michael Platt. I played for Bradford, Salford, Castleford and Rochdale. I'm currently the owner, or co-owner at PT41 Fitness, a gym based in Manchester. I enjoyed it at most clubs I was at. I really enjoyed my time at Castleford. We were winning most weeks, and it's a tiny little town, and you're kind of big news there in such a small place, so that was fun. And then I enjoyed my first years at Bradford. We were, I was playing with world-class players then. There was Shantane Happy, Vinacolo and Deakin and Terry Newton, and I was in a good team, and I felt very proud to be part of a team that had such established, well-known players. Things dropped off in the end there, but the early years I really enjoyed. Yeah, the highlight of my career was definitely being called up to the Great Britain team in 2007. I never actually managed to get on the pitch. I was in the squad. I was due to play in the last test. Unfortunately, me and Terry Newton went out when we shouldn't have done. And I never got to play. It was a punishment, really. It's one of the biggest regrets of my career. I would have got to actually pull on the shirt and play for Great Britain, but Terry dragged me out on a night out that we should have never done. I really did struggle when I finished rugby. I was fortunate enough to basically, when I finished school at 16, I was a pro till I was about 30 years old. I'd never had a job. To be in a team environment from being 16 years old, being fed really, told where to go, what to do, to just, you're out there on your own. It was a massive shock, and I did struggle. The players need to have a plan. They have to put responsibility on themselves, definitely, but at 16 years old or 15, all you're trying to think about is becoming the best rugby player you can be. You're not kind of thinking, what am I going to do when I finish? You're thinking, what can I do right now to be a rugby player? Yeah, I've got some good things in place. I know the sporting chants. I've been there myself. It's got its highs and its lows. I don't agree with everything that goes on there. Other than that, I don't know if the Rugby League have put stuff in place since I've finished to give people a career pathway. What I will say is they did at Bradford make us do our personal training badges. I'm now owner of a gym, so I'm very thankful for that. Obviously I needed them badges to open this place up, so yeah, they do some good things as well, and I'm aware of that, but I think there's a lot more they can do. So PT41, the name's personal trainer, but I'm obviously called Platt. That's where the P's from, the trainer. T is Tom, my business partner. I started off as a number 1 rugby fullback, and he was for the centre. That's where the 4-1 is. We want to create that team environment here, so the 4-1, a bit of an emphasis on it, is for everyone 4-1 in the classes. We're only 3 months into it, but it's going really well. I'm really pleased with it. When we opened up, we didn't have, a client between us. We took up, when I look back now and think, what the hell was you doing? But we're probably getting about 400 or 500 people through the door each week, and that's growing week on week. I'm already thinking I need a bigger gym. So yeah, it's going well, and I do enjoy it. I miss that team environment when I played at rugby, and I'm kind of created it here now. So I am around big numbers at certain times, and I do like that. Me and Tom are coffee snobs, as a lot of rugby players are. You finish training at 12:30, 1 o'clock, you're straight to a coffee shop. Whether you like it or not, over the years you become a coffee snob. So we do like it, and we put it here. We're trying to create that team environment as well, so we don't want people just training in and out. We want them coming in, having a bite to eat, a coffee, a talk, really helping each other, know where each other are at training. And I'm hoping this coffee shop does make me some money, but help with that team environment. My hair, yeah, I have had 2 hair transplants. I know that I follow a few of the rugby players I've followed suit now. I think Luke Gale's had one, and hopefully I've set the trend. Yeah, I don't regret it, and I think it should be talked about more. Yeah, I got some stick over the years about going bald, and it doesn't really bother me. I had a laugh about it. So yeah, I went over to Belgium, had a hair transplant, and yeah, I'm happy with it. And I hope anyone out there who's going bald feels confident enough to say, yeah, I'm going getting it done.